And I think the action figure for George Szirtes would be a long-legged action figure striding across the whole of Europe, because that's what George does. He somehow links Hungarian and English sensibilities in a kind of pan-European poetry. He's known for his own poetry, he's known for translating poetry from the Hungarian, and somehow in George these two come together in this amazing figure that straddles the whole of Europe in a kind of diaspora of ideas. His book Bad Machine comes to terms with the fact that he's approaching very slowly and from a long way away the foothills of early middle age. And as he says it in songlines, he talks about the riff of time's songlines filling up, taking over. And that's what pervades the book. And it's because for George Szirtes, it's not time's arrow and it's not time's winged chariot hurrying near. It's time's songlines, music, faint but relentless, as he says, but singing. So if we're all getting older, then maybe we do need George singing alongside us, singing his songs, because that's what he does. And he also tweets more than I do, which is something. George Szirtes.
Thank you, Ian. It's a great privilege to be amongst such wonderful poets. I'll start with a poem called Colours. You know how it is, normally you get actual colours and then we give them names. Scarlet Lake, magenta, vermilion, and you begin to fall in love with these names. In this poem, it's a love affair with those names. But those names don't actually have any colours. So you've turned it around. Instead of having colours and you find a name, you have the name, and you're looking for these vacancies of colours. It's two sonnets. The first is just the names of colours, but I've invented most of them. Colours. Burleywood, Chartreuse, Gainsborough, Ghost White, Greenberg, Maroon, Orchid, Mocassin, Peru, Demosthenes, Snow, Papaya Whip, Popper, Peach Puff, Hot Pink, Hot, Dark Red, Dark Grey, Dodger Blue, Drudgery, Derrida, Fuchsia, Fondle, Fricassee, Fabric, Fenfall, Coral, Corn Silk, Crimson, Coleridge, Coolidge, Honeydew, Hellboard, Hartshorn, Honecker, Jet, Jellyby, Lavender Blush, Lascar, Light Cyan, Light, Grey, Grey-Green, Garrulous, Go Lightly, Garrick, Indignant, Insolence, Irked, Ivory, Ilk, Jeremiad, Asclepius, Goldenrod, Arriviste, Glock, Cyan, Chocolate, Cadet Blue, Camisole, Fallen Grey, Flecked, Lost Blue, Amaretto, Shrubbery, Yearning, Absinthe, Abstinence, Grey Holes in Green. Had these been voices, the wind might have sung them through a hedge or an empty head. It was winter, then spring, then summer, then autumn, thunder and lightning, the beating of a red drum. Had it been blue guitar, or purple rose, or black Sunday? Had it been brown study, Devil's Dyke, or dun, as in Dunnock? Had it been greyfriar, or red eye, or permanganate, or potassium? Had their names been their being? Had the retina been in service, had the hot stores not burned away with the seasons, had it been anything but dinner in the provinces, had the spectrum not gone awry, had it ever fallen out like this, with a light lost in the jungle of the voice, with its brilliance and dust? This is a real blue. This is a blue shirt of a woman on a train, a busy train, who is working. A blue shirt. There are moments that soul exists as intensely as the blue of a shirt or the landscape sliding by a train window, not as an item of belief, but as a figure it might be possible to know, to greet, embrace, to violate or hurt in a space between love and grief, fine as a set of delicate wrists. And the notion that wrists might be cut occurs to you as a thought it is natural to think, as natural as a pen sliding across a page, or the busy look of, say, a woman as she taps at her keyboard, of no particular age, but still in a position to dream or sink into the arms of someone in an unframed future that is undoubtedly hers. Just so, Beethoven picks at the same scabs time and again, as if soul were an itch as real as the skin in which he squirms, in a time like the landscape that's gone in the dark as a train moves, whose terms are echo and echo, as if soul were a rich relative you might touch for cash or a loan to tide you over a few unpaid tabs. And it may be the soul is coloured blue, like that shirt, which is as real as anything that music might dream of, or the woman typing might imagine as her fingers move over the keys till her work is done, or the vanished landscape that is about to sing in the dark, while the soul lingers at the window seeking a frame to look through. I will read just one more poem. It's called Allotments. Those most democratic of gardening institutions, which are very moving. The young Irish poet Michael Murphy wrote a poem called Allotments, and this is in memory of Michael. And it mentions along the way the jazz pianist Bill Evans, who makes, even to me as a writer, a surprising entrance. The interesting thing about Bill Evans, the most wonderful kind of inward music. But when you see him play, he's often looking down all the time, right at the keys, as though we're looking through the keys and at his shoes. It has a kind of beautiful inwardness. It quotes Michael's own poem called Allotments here and there, and I'll just make a little quotation sign. So I'll finish with this, Allotments. When I glimpse from the train a clutch of allotments, a tight row of cabbages or spuds or garden peas, I think there are gods beyond gods who live in the bones of men and women, shivering at their touch, that when rain falls it weeps hailstones, that when Bill Evans lays his fingers down on the keys, it is death he is playing in his own and the world's ear, in the time allotted, in the proper undertone of fear, in each cloud that arrives with its gown of rain, in a moment that bears no delaying. That the apparatus of the Perspex bus stop, reclaimed for a hothouse, is a new Jerusalem that is much like the old one. That each raindrop is a lifetime of damage, a new life at once, as it hangs on the bent leaf like a lunatic in Hogarth's Bedlam. That these are the small, ordinary days we all know and live in, huddled inside the big ones, inside a cosmos we cannot quite inhabit. That we fall like rain every night. That it is the gods who are pleased to provide our allotments. Here, where one man lays out a row of something implicit in what it's not, that the twin tub bleeding rust, and those prams with missing wheels, those tacit admissions, may still be useful, still full of purpose, still in possession of a certain will to serve and not just rot and gather dust. What we learn once, that life being ordinary is the extraordinary thing, sticks with us like clods of soil trapped in the threads of our shoes. It is the plastic bags and shopping baskets we carry to and fro, those bags of manure, compost and refuse, the well-worn crust of the mysterious that wastes itself and comes round again. I think of Bill Evans's head, bent right down, staring, it seems, at his feet, not the keys, the soft, lost spaces between head and foot, the loss-bearing, the unsharing shared, the forgetting of cost. A space opens up just where we stand, on the brink of music or earth, the universe of barren rock where everything bears fruit and nothing does, where the tune moves deeper, an inflorescence in unresolved chords, with long lines of dock and nettle, and a faint occasional buzz of the fly hanging on the air, its brief dark presence zipping off somewhere by itself, into itself. These small constructions are scruffy Edens, those paradise gardens inhabited by gods much like ourselves, the books on the shelf, the unrolling of music, the curious odds and sods of a universe that demands our credence. They hold us for as long as anything holds. It is time to go. It is time to pack away the equipment we are used to, trowel and spade, and to turn off the music that still unfolds and won't stop unfolding. We cannot stay, not here, not anywhere we might have stayed. Thank you.